Hello, Assalamu alaikum. So here we am Shahbaz Hussain. So we are studying the topic is inverse proportion. So in the previous lecture, you know that how to write the equation connecting the variables by finding the value of k. So starting with the a is inversely proportional to b means a equals to k divided by b, right? Or in other form, you can write simply as a multiplied by b is equals to k. So this is the constant which you have to find first. So a is connecting to b by the formula a is equals to b, thus ab is equals to k. The k is called constant of proportional. So the product in other means we can say that the product of the two variables is equals to some constant. This is the concept of inversely proportional. When we multiply two variables and we can equate it some constant with some constant, so it will be called as inversely proportional. Or we can write as a is proportional to b, a is inversely proportional to b. So this slide is basically the basic concept, basic representation of inversely proportional. If the question is like a is inversely proportional to b square, so we can write as a is equals to k divided by b square. So whatever the variable of in a proportionality, we can write the first variable on the left side and the second variable on the right side. In directive proportion, we just write straight equation, or inversely proportion we write in division form. So this is the main difference which we were studied in the previous lecture. So moving on, question number 1. First of we have to read the question carefully. In the following table, a is inversely proportional to b. This means that straight away when you read this statement, you have to write the equation first. A is equals to k divided by b. Find the equation connecting a and b, hence complete the table. So here they give us the table. We have to complete this table. So in the table you see that the first two values of both the variable is given. When the two values of both the variables are given, this slot we can use. This slot we will use to find the value of k. This slot, if this slot is placed at that column in this box, so we use these two values. Now we don't have the value of a with the corresponding of value of b, so we don't use this value of b. So if we are going to use value of a is fine, then the similar value we will use for the both the variables in same column, in similar column, in same boxes. We will use the values to find the value of k. So here we have 5 is the value of a and 10 is the value of b. We just substitute this value in this equation, right? So by substituting these values, we can calculate simply k is equals to 50 by rearranging them. K is equals to 50. So we got the equation connecting a and b. Now this is the equation which we use to find the other unknowns, the other unknown values. So moving on, same equation we will use the equation a is equals to 50 over b to find the missing values. So when a is equals to 8, we just substitute this, the value of a is equals to 8 in the equation here. So the value of 8, a is equals to 8, 8 is equals to 50 over b. Now we can multiply b with the 8, and b is equals to 50 divided by 8, which becomes 6.25. So you see that the value of b is equals to 6.25, which we write in the unknown column. Now move on to find the value of a. When value of b is equals to 4, just simply write the equation again, substitute the value of b in this equation, so you got the value of a. Now write the value of a in the blank column, in the blank box, which is the unknown. Next, move on to question number 2. The question number 2 is some slight lengthy question. In an electrical circuit, the simple electrical circuit, the resistance R ohms. This is the unit of the resistance. Resistance means the hurdle in the electrical circuit is inversely proportional to the square of the current I, amperes. Amperes is the unit of current. So when the ignore the units, this is not necessary to understand these units, so this do for the maths. When this is a practical real life application of the mathematics which is using in the electrical engineering, electrical field, when the resistance is 4 ohms, the current flowing in is 6 amperes. The students who are asking for the use of maths in real life is, I think, very clearly see this example or this question, but is where is the use of the mathematics in the real life. So when you are going to become an engineer, or you are going to become an aeronautical engineer and all that in the scientific field, so these are the mathematical skills you have to build to become a good engineer. So find the equation connecting R and I. First we have to find the equation connecting R and I. So this first step we have to write, they gave us the initial values. For resistance is 4, current is 6 amperes, so R is inversely proportional to the square of I. So first we have to write the equation, R is equals to K over I square. So substituting the value of R and I, so 4 is equals to K over 6 square. It becomes 4 is equals to K over 36. 36 simply multiply with 4 becomes 144. Now we got the equation connecting R and I is R is equals to 144 over I square. Now moving on the second part of the question, find the resistance when the current is 7 amperes. Now he gave us the current I is equals to 7. Now we have to write the equation first. R is equals to 144 over I square. The value of I is 7. So the equation becomes R is equals to 144 over 7 square. So R is equals to 144 over 49, which becomes 2.94 ohms. The resistance in this circuit is used by 2.94 ohms. This is the mathematical formulas, mathematical equations which the engineers are used to build this electrical circuit. So find the current when resistance is 3 ohm. He said that if the resistance is 3 ohm, so what is the value of the current? So now put the value of R in the equation 3. Now 3 multiplied with I square is equals to 144. Now I square is equals to 144 divided by 3. We got the answer 48. 48 is approximately 49, which is 6.9. I think the answer will be 6.93. So I is equals to 6.93 amperes. Amperes is the unit of current I. Next, moving on, question number 3. Question number 3 is simply as the variables which you are maximum use of in the mathematics. So the previous one question is basically the real life practical example of inversely proportional, and we can also build the practical example of the directly proportional of the real life. So in the further lectures I will go for the real life examples of the inversely and directly proportional equation. So if y, so question number 3 is, if y is varies inversely with the square of x and y is equals to 12 when x is equals to 3, find the equation connecting y. Same as second part is x when y is equals to 75. Same as the connecting equation, find the connecting equation, find the connecting equation. Y is inversely proportional to the square of x. I hope you all are understanding these two types of proportion. Simply we have to write y is equals to k over x square. Now it becomes, this is where I tell you that this is the other form of the inversely proportional type of equation. So just use the values of y and x. We got the answer, k is equals to 108. Now the equation connecting y and x is equals to y x square is equals to 108. Now you can also use this one, and you can also use this one, y is equals to 108 over x square. There is not a difference between these equations, just as the representation of the equation is different. The simplest form, you can say that this is simplest form. Either you will use this one, or you are easy to use this one, or you are easy to use this one. It is up to you. So just we need the correct answer. Mathematics needs the correct answer only. So we use y x square is equals to 108. Now 75 is the value of y. This is the second part of the question. 75 x square is equals to 108. Now 75 is divided with 108. X square is equal to 108 divided by 75. We got 1.44. Now take the square root. When you got the square root, so this is the simple x is equals to 1.0. This is the typing error in this question. This is simple x is equals to 1.2. when you got the square root, it should not be there. This is simple x, so I use the arrow pointer to hidden this square. So this is a simple three examples classwork questions. Now these are the homework questions. You have to use this table. Just write the question, draw the table on your notebooks, write the question number 1. First read the statement carefully. J is inversely proportional to L. Now J is equals to K divided by L. Use these initial values to find K. And then next write connecting equation and use these two values to find their corresponding unknowns, their missing unknowns, right? So each question is similar with each other. Each question is the inversely proportional question. I hope you will done this questions and give the response maximum, and you are conscious about your homework and the classwork and these lectures. Stay safe, stay home. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.